feel any sort of anxiety towards rising prices? Potentially rising prices. Of course, we never know what the market might happen, right?
You never know.
But out of curiosity, right? Of course, everyone has different requirements.
Sure.
For you, right, what do you look for in a house and
But I would definitely go for HDB. Even if I could afford any other type of housing, right? I would still go for HDB. And
around 2 million, right?
Yep.
So 2 million, that's at least 600k, 700k down payment.
Jeez.
Yeah, with all the buyer's stamp duty. So
correct.
Basically, like what I said, like you have the income, but you don't have the wealth.
I don't have the wealth to sustain that
because
lifestyle.
it's so early on.
Singapore has reached a point where normal graduates can't really afford. But it makes you, it programs you to feel that if I choose the wrong starting subject, I'm already lagging behind this. Right?
But
student population views this as a very bland sector to be in. Very boring. So people don't.
Again, a lot of it is driven in Singapore. Unfortunately, the system is driven by career outcomes.
Yes.
Right.
Hi everyone, welcome to BurgBoys. I'm Max.
I'm Terence.
And this is your weekly dive into the most interesting news with our reactions and takes on what's happening.
So Max, we're quite tired today.
Yes. What time is it?
11 p.m. But we force ourselves to
Discipline.
Yes, discipline. Every week we need to do this, right?
Correct.
Okay, so anyway, let's get to it.
Yep.
So very
What do
first
you have?
article today is on housing, something that I think you would soon have to encounter
Very soon,
within the
yes.
next 2 to 3 years.
Agree.
So the Business Times report that the EC prices have again hit a new high. Right now, it's the new sales prices are coming at about 1.7k per square feet. So basically, a 1,000 square feet condo will be about 1.7 million. Yeah. And also another article written by I think Stack Homes, they also mentioned that due to the rising population as well, it's also potentially going to push up prices as well. So I just want to ask, as someone who's going to potentially purchase in the next 2 to 3 years, do you feel any sort of anxiety towards rising prices? Potentially rising prices. Of course, we never know what the market might happen, right?
You never know, but definitely there is, because I mean, I just saw this post on Twitter or something, right? They were saying that the growth in housing prices is not proportional to the growth in purchasing power or income growth of people like me. So, which means that these houses are probably getting more and more out of reach, right? I mean, even if a household income level, I think it's still not on par with the growth of that overall EC price.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, because you see, actually, there's almost a difference between income and wealth, right?
Correct.
Say even today, a graduate couple, they work 5 years, but maybe a lot of their income were used to pay off a lot of their student loans and also their family situation as well. So they might actually be in a sandwich generation, right? Not being eligible for any grants, but they might not have enough savings to put as a significant sum down payment, right?
Correct.
Especially if they don't get, firstly, they don't qualify for BTO and things like that. So, of course, when you see some of the private markets transacting at very high values, it also feels a bit scary.
Yeah, it feels, and I don't feel in control of it also, you know what I'm saying? Because I know year after year, this is the max I'm going to get, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's capped. Yeah,
so, but out of curiosity, right? Of course, everyone has different requirements.
Sure.
For you, right, what do you look for in a house? And in a couple of years, what do you think will be your key purchasing criteria?
For me, right, and I'll explain this shortly, right, but I would definitely go for HDB. Even if I could afford any other type of housing, right, I would still go for HDB. And the key thing I want is that I want to renovate to, I have some sort of a balcony kind of setup. For me, every morning...
because of a vice. Tell me why you need a balcony.
A cigarette in the morning is... you can't do without. If I don't do it without... No, you have to see the view, the sunrise. If I don't do it, right, I really cannot work. I'm not joking. I have to take MC. I'm serious. So I think to me that's super, super important. So I'll do that.
I guess it's also a criteria for your relationship as well. You need someone that allows you to smoke, right?
I mean, not that anybody asked this, but me and my ex used to smoke, so it's a plus point. Yeah. But what about you? What kind of house would you look for?
For me, I already bought one, right? This year I bought a house, so I bought a HDB as well. And so similar to you, I think I would like that flexibility and freedom down the line to...
That's exactly my reasoning also.
Potentially, make your own decisions.
Yep.
Actually, initially when we first started, we also considered condo. Actually, we seriously considered, we viewed quite a number.
Right.
But in the end, we felt like the area that we're looking at was quite overpriced, and also a lot of the stamp duties as well. So in the end, you end up putting a lot of cash in.
Like how much are you paying like that?
I think if you look at a 3-bedroom that's over 1,000 square feet, you minimally will be around 2 million, right?
Yep.
So 2 million, That's at least 600k, 700k down payment.
Jeez.
Yeah, with all the buyer's stamp duty. So even if you can subtract CPF, it's still quite a hefty sum.
Yeah, I think if you're a guy in your late 20s, young 30s, that's a reset of your financial...
Potentially
right?
for some.
It's a reset, yeah.
But I'm curious, what if you meet your significant other who allows you to smoke in your balcony, but wants a better place? Let's say she wants a condo. Will you accede to the request? Well, I guess we're going off topic here.
I think I will negotiate with her, because in a sense where like there's a pros and cons to it. Look, if we get this right, then other aspects of our life will take a hit for the maybe 3-4 years in terms of cash flow, right? That's how I view it, right? And obviously I'm gonna have this discussion in a very sensible way to see how it goes, right? But I want to let her also understand what are my considerations also. Yeah. Why am I sound like a relationship counselor? That's not the point. The point is there will be proper convo with my significant other.
Okay, then I guess given that it's for you, housing is going to come in the next couple of years, right?
Yeah.
To make sure that you can also get in the ladder, right? What do you think that you would like to see from a policy standpoint, or what do you think the government can do? Because I think it's actually primarily impacting you, right? If every year go up 5%, 10% CAGR,
yeah.
Right? It's
yeah,
like
I'm screwed.
basically your next 3 years of working will not even cover the CAGR. So 1.7 if it goes up by 5%, right?
Yeah.
That's like what, 85k?
Yeah.
So 85k, some people don't even save 85k a year. It's a 5% CAGR.
It's crazy, bro.
Right?
Yeah.
So a few percent a year, it's literally your savings
exactly.
over the next 3 years runway, right?
Exactly.
So what do you think can be done, especially given that, let's say right now you're at an income level with your partner, if let's say you're also a graduate, you probably cannot access PTO already.
Yeah, that's what I think, right? I think also, I'm not asking for, just to clarify, I'm not asking for a pity party, but I feel like that group of people that cannot buy the BTO anymore, but also not comfortable enough to own a condo, is actually a very tough spot also. Just shed light on this group, right? Because I feel like you don't want to overcommit financially to a condo, right? But then you also don't have an option to go for something.
Correct. Basically, like what I said, like you have the income, but you don't have the wealth.
I don't have the wealth to sustain that lifestyle.
Because it's so early on in your career,
exactly,
you haven't
right?
built enough savings. Especially if the goalposts keep moving every year.
Exactly.
With a few percent up.
Yeah, and then in my mind I'm thinking like I'm never gonna hit my goal, So it's like, yeah, I think it's a tough spot to be in, right?
Yeah. So ultimately, but what you're hoping is that all the resale HDB prices will still at least be kept in a very relatively affordable
right.
place.
So yeah, my goal forever and wherever will be HDB, right? But I'm curious. One last question, right? I have a curious topic about this one. So what do you think about living overseas? Like engaging in real estate overseas. Like I have a home overseas. I go there on the weekdays. I work from there. Imagine I can work remotely. Then I come back.
So one, I think you cannot buy an overseas property before you buy a Singapore property. If not, you'll be eligible for HDB.
True.
So that's the number one regulation.
Yep.
Number two is with overseas property, right? Unless you are very familiar with the local market, what I understand, at least from reading a lot of people getting burned overseas, is that you also have to deal with the currency arbitrage as well. So maybe on the local currency terms you make money, on the SGD terms
on the SGD USD terms you're losing
money.
Yeah.
So there's also that knowing that local market as well. Because for example, I heard in Bangkok, for example, it's like a new condo market.
Yep.
So it's always new condo. Then after that, they kind of depreciate over time.
Correct.
Right. So I think understanding that local context is quite important.
Okay, but follow up. Let's say the goal isn't to make a return. It's really because let's say Singapore's context don't allow you to own house.
Yeah.
Would you see moving overseas as a viable option? Like buying overseas,
I think it's
assuming regulations
it's different context as well. I honestly think that I have not given a lot of thought, but I think you open up new problems or new areas of concern. Let me give an example. Let's say today you have kids, right? Then your kids will need to go international school. Then it's the new areas that you need to pay money on. You know what I mean?
True.
So it really depends on whether you there was this guy, I think he was an ex-Googler, then he got viral after he got laid off from Google. Then he's like now he and his wife shuttle between Bangkok and Singapore. So he basically drove arbitrage.
Right.
So he was if you decide to be a dual income, no kids, right? I think that's that's the path. So I think ratings on your individual lifestyle, your how you choose to set up your life. But I think everything is worthwhile to consider, right? There's no
true. Because I just don't know. I'm just imagining a worst case scenario in which Singapore has reached a point where normal graduates can't really afford.
Yeah, but that's why I think it's also ridiculous to think that at least for public housing there would be a situation like that one day, right?
I hope not.
So I think that in the first place has to be solved.
But for me, looking at the housing price now, it doesn't breed a lot of confidence. I get a bit scared, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I think it's still, to be fair, I think HDBs are still okay, as long as you don't overstretch yourself, lah.
Of course.
But of course, hopefully it doesn't go up like kind of like 5%, 10% CAGR, lah. Right? I think that one will be. It's like moving goalposts. Every year you save money, it's just
It's just-
for the incremental increase.
Yeah, why doesn't STI have the same returns as the housing market?
Well, I mean, I think Asians like real estate, lah.
Yeah,
But I
it's
think even, I guess the China market, at least they are at least a bit more scarred from real estate.
True.
But I heard even
Evergrande.
Shanghai is like up already.
Oh, is it?
Shanghai is like apparently like doing quite well in the real estate market.
Okay.
But again, I'm not an expert. I'm just reading, and then I saw some of this news.
Can.
Okay, next topic.
Next topic.
I think you contribute to this problem because you studied locally and then you never. So there's this article that says that traditional engineering jobs have or engineering fields have struggled to attract talents, and in fact, for schooling as well, right? A lot of people are choosing finance, technology related courses over engineering, right? And almost that for them it's like they view these professions as low pay and somewhat long hours. So just out of curiosity, right? What degree do you do, and why do you not do engineering?
So first of all, right, my math really sucks. Like legit, I think my O level, right, my math was like B4.
Wow.
Right? B4 EB. Okay, here's the funny story. It's B4 for E math and then A2 for A math. I don't know how lah.
Then that's a you problem.
That's a me problem, right?
Yeah.
So okay, first of all, I'm not good in math stuff. I'm more of an arts guy. Right? And then but Harvard, when I went uni, I actually did economics. Which I know also involve math, but it's really not my strong suit lah.
So why do you choose economics?
Okay, so which also ties into this article, right? I think the primary reason why I chose economics also because of the promise of greater starting salaries or greater kind of career options, right? Because I think at one point in time it's really about pragmatism. So actually, I don't know if I told you this, but when I started my journey in school, in tertiary education, I actually started out as a psych major. 1 year in, after that, then I switched. And the reason why I switched is because every single day I'll hear my peers, be it from hall or whatever, saying like, hey, wow, this job in whatever XXX bank, wow, earn this much. Then I'm just like, I'm down there studying about,
Pardon
like,
his language. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about that. But it's more of like, wow. It doesn't feel comfortable because it feels like.
But okay, so but you basically went into, I guess, some sort of like a faculty of arts lah.
Correct.
But then before that, do you know about the job prospect, or was it like you actually went to university to pursue an interest? Let's say you pursue psychology.
Yeah, I went to pursue an interest.
So it wasn't career lah, wasn't a primary consideration.
It wasn't
It's only
correct.
midway through then you realize, yeah.
Exactly, which I think is also the stem of this issue, right? Because I think salary is one thing, right? And then also, but it makes you, it programs you to feel that if I choose the wrong starting subject, I'm already lagging behind this.
But let's say today we live in a different world where salary of engineering is the highest. Would that change your mind? Let's say before you pick a university degree.
That's a good question.
Let's say today we live in a world whereby I'm not sure let's say we have Tesla in Singapore and then engineering degrees are commanding twice the salaries of economics degree. Would that change your mind?
I think that will move the needle, right? Because someone working in Tesla, you're working on arguably what they will brand as one of the best automobiles in the world, right? So that will move the needle. But at the same time, engineering itself, and I'm talking about like chemical, mechanical, all these engineering, the optics wise is another issue.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel, and we can share your thoughts also. But I feel like generally the student population views this as a very bland sector to be in. Very boring. So people don't view it as in terms of like, oh my god, engineering is so cool, so tech, so frontier.
Yeah.
They don't see that.
But actually, to me, what's actually very interesting in this is that actually it's what you study engineering, business, economics. It doesn't have to necessarily tie with your final career choice down the line.
Very true.
So even if you did psychology, it doesn't really matter also. I mean, I'm not going to say it doesn't, but I think it's more of the environment you put yourself into.
Very true.
Like, I mean, let's say today you recruit for a consulting firm or banking. It's really more on like you demonstrating your past academic success.
Yes.
Your portfolio of like achievements, right?
Yep.
And it really doesn't matter what degree. I mean, we have so many colleagues that done all different things.
Yeah, we have.
So actually, it's more of like a perception rather than actually the reality, because people would rather take the best student in engineering over
some mediocre student somewhere else.
I wouldn't say mediocre, but
Not
maybe
mediocre.
like an average lah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when I first joined this company, my buddy was a music major. Yeah, music major. But once again, Terence, but this goes back to the stem of the issue, which is the fact that, sure, it's the environment put you in, and the environment that local undergraduates are in now are one that breeds this kind of mindset, like engineering not that good, lower pay, blah blah blah. Because everyone just comparing since the start. Even your university, tertiary education, school counselors, career counselors will also give you that range of salaries to start with. So it doesn't really help with that mindset, in my view.
So, but I think it's a mindset. It's bland. It's boring. The course itself is not something that's interesting.
Yes. But the salary thing though is a major needle mover. If you can fix that, I do think it would drive a lot of interest in.
So basically, EDB need to go find more top tier engineering firms to come and land in Singapore. I think that would change
everything.
Yeah. I guess it's a bit like computer science, right? Remember how computer science cohort exploded because the advent of all these tech firms that were heavily
COVID
funded
and everything. Yeah.
But to be honest, I see some of this as cyclical as well.
Right.
I think it really depends on where our economy heads as well.
Right.
So sometimes actually, in a way, if let's say today too many people go in and then in the end it doesn't fulfill the promise, it also becomes a problem as well, right?
Yeah, if you oversupply, it doesn't work anyway, right?
Yeah. But okay, what if let's say today we consider this because you have a younger sibling, right? What if your sibling comes and asks you, I'm in two minds, I want to potentially do economics or I want to do engineering. What would you recommend her? Because actually in 2 years' time, she's in that crossroad, right, for you?
Yeah, but I don't know if I'm in the right place to ever make a decision on my own siblings' career choice. Right?
She asked you, right? I mean, give me your honest take on what pros and cons. Where will I enjoy my time best?
Fair. But more of like, okay, look, I will tell her to weigh the pros and cons, right? So for example, it's more of like, look, if you are going in this direction, then look, this is what you might miss out on. If, for example, you chose some other more flashier major, right? So I just listed out for her lah. But the final decision, I'll still let her choose, and she can go with it lah. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure would you do something similar?
I think it's best to just be objective and then don't be the one making a decision on behalf of someone.
Yeah, never.
But for sure, you give a bit of sense of reality, like the environment that they could potentially enter as well. So, any final thoughts on this on engineers?
I think engineers are still crucial market to.
After you say everything, then you say but engineers.
If this job ever taught me anything, it's to be yuan man. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think salary, once again, I want to repeat, is a major needle mover. My opinion lah. If you actually kind of really push it a bit, I think it helps a lot. Then optics wise, and this starts from tertiary educations lah, right? You guys have to really change how people view this industry as a whole now. So I think these two are quite important. What about you?
Yeah, I think, but for me, I think that some of it's really related to the economy lah. I don't think just for the sake of just because we don't have enough engineers, we should just try to encourage people to get in as well. Because again, a lot of it is driven in Singapore. Unfortunately, the system is driven by career outcomes.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
At one point in time, we thought we were going to need a lot of computer scientists, right? Then with the AI boom, now they say AI can write codes.
Yeah.
I'm wondering all these computer scientists, are they even going to get software engineer jobs?
Exactly.
So I think let's not front run lah. I mean, I think we have enough people in different areas, and then if really that segment grow, then the segment grow lah. Yeah. Otherwise, you're going to have mismatched expectations, which is the worst.
Yeah, I guess it's like economics, right? The market has its own free hand. You will just
exactly. I think the reason why a lot of people more go into finance is because the reality is there are more finance roles that are more somewhat better paying, right? Yep. So I think if that's the case, then we shouldn't just try to force people into a career. Yes. And then in the end, they might be resentful.
They're resentful. There's a mismatch, and then it creates even more problems.
Exactly. So I think let the economy how the economy hits, and then I'm sure the labor will adjust over time.
Agree.
Yeah.
Super agree. Yeah.
Okay, final one. I think this only you can answer lah.
Why?
So they say that Gen Zs now prefer to spend on experiences and travel. They don't party till 4 a.m. anymore. They go to 2 p.m. raves. They find that late night runs on alcoholic and taxis are too expensive. They prefer to do everything in daytime and
that's
save
crazy.
costs.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Why do you say it's crazy? I mean, it's a real trend. Every study has been done. It's a real trend.
Okay, the reason why I say it's crazy is because I saw the article, right? They sip mojitos at 2 p.m. instead. Like, how is that enjoyable at all?
You sip mojitos at 2 p.m, but you still sip mojitos all the way to 12.
So there's a fundamental difference. No,
yeah.
Okay, my point is, I don't get it. Like, how do you even find time to go out at 2 p.m. for a rave or, drink more?
On the weekends, what do you mean?
Go drink coffee. Go eat brunch. Isn't that what people usually do?
So are you a Gen Z or a millennial?
I'm both.
I'm trying to get your view on the Gen Zs. And,
No, I just don't think this makes sense at all. Because I think there's a right time and place for everything.
But it clearly makes sense. That's why there's so many events being held.
I don't understand, sir. I'm really trying to understand this right now. I don't.
Okay, let me give you an example, right?
Sure.
For example, there's a rise in zero alcohol trend.
Okay.
You see in a lot of European countries, it's super popular. Japan is super popular. The young Gen Zs are not drinking as much. They are just not drinking as much alcohol. Clearly, this is a trend.
Okay, but I don't understand. I still think, right, like you as a human being, you have to go through the experience of quote unquote getting lit. You know what I'm saying?
So you don't think they can get lit at 2 p.m?
I think it's a different feeling. When you're getting way wasted at 2 p.m, think about it. You get wasted at 2 p.m. The rest of your 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. gone.
But to be fair, they will have less hangover the next day.
But they waste the day. It's the same as drinking from 8 to 12, or 8 to 2 a.m. and then you wake up the next morning.
But it's easier on their wallet.
So you're telling me 2 p.m.
I'm defending the Gen Z.
Yeah, oh my goodness, I don't get it. You are supposed to be on my side, given the amount of 3M benders you've been on.
Don't say that.
Okay, I don't say that.
Yeah.
No, but my point is, the entire experience, okay, screw the monetary aspect, but the entire experience of going out at 2 p.m. versus all the way until at 2 a.m. it's not even
Yeah, but maybe if you go at 2 p.m, you'll drunk text people less.
That's part of the experience. The drum calls and drum texts are part of the plot, and every person writes their own story.
Whoever reached see this and hears about the drunk texting, he apologized in advance.
Then Terrence, would you ever do a 2 p.m. mojito rave?
I wouldn't mind experiencing it.
Talk God. First of all, right, it's physically impossible for us to be at some random 2 p.m. rave.
Yeah.
Unless it's the weekend.
Okay, to be fair, I think what happens is that you only want to go out 2 p.m. is that then you want people to do a lot of weekday things. So like say with drinks is that sometimes after work you just want to socialize with some of your colleagues, you go for an evening drink.
Correct.
Right? And
correct.
I think this is for sure much lesser. We definitely notice with some of the Gen Z's a lot lesser. Right?
It is.
They prefer to do run clubs in the evenings.
Yes.
Rather than having a beer.
And in all seriousness, right, I just want to say something like, all respect to people that do run clubs. But I just want to say that you shouldn't be like, I want to do run clubs because I think I'm better than people that drink. If that's the mindset, then that's screwed up. Like, just do your own thing. Nobody's gonna complain, right? Just do what you love. Like, nobody's gonna enter your boundary and stuff. But then again, if you want to have a good time, it has to be after 8 p.m. It has to. You get what I'm saying, Terrence?
Yeah, I totally
feel
feel
me?
you. I totally feel you. Okay, so I guess on this, right? I think you clearly disagree with this article. So
I want
100% disagree. So
I would like to report this article.
So
yeah.
I don't want to let you have any more final words on this. Right?
Okay, you have the final say. You share your thoughts a bit.
I think if you feel like you want to do a 2 p.m. rave, go ahead and do a 2 p.m. rave. Don't let someone like him dissuade you from doing it. Enjoy your time. Every generation is different. You
know what? I have an idea. So after this episode, right, let's go for a 2 p.m. rave. We do a BurgBoys special, and we video my reaction to it. If I enjoy it, right, I will formally apologize.
You probably enjoy it, but you probably last till 2 a.m.
I will formally apologize.
You probably from 2 a.m. to 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. That's what's going to happen. Isn't that what you're going to do in Bali?
Okay, I'm going Bali to train, number one. And then I'm going to go rest, watch the sunset, eat some
2 p.m.
nasi babi guling, and then I'm going to go sleep.
Okay, fine. Let's not argue over something that is not. It's definitely.
It's definitely not true.
Yeah. Okay. Any final words on any of these topics?
No, I'm just triggered by the last article, but everything else I'm okay.
Okay, then I think let's close the call today. I think it's late night already.
Yep. Once again, thanks guys for watching, right? And also please remember to like, subscribe, and leave comments below on what you guys want to hear next. Take care. Bye bye.